The Democrats, they're so despicable. The Democrats are not lifting a finger to remember the well over 100 people that have died in Texas Hill Country. What you are not being told by the media anywhere is that the death toll likely would not have been as high if it wasn't for DEI. This Texas tragedy is just the latest example. It's not just incompetence. This is DEI working to undermine meritocratic institutions, and more people likely died than otherwise would have because of DEI.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Miss. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe and ring that bell. On July 4th, massive flash flood hit Texas Hill Country, especially Carroll County, killing at least 119 people, including campers at Camp Mystic, and leaving over 160 missing and others dead. But instead of focusing on climate, outdated warming system, our government courts, MAGA supporters are blaming DEI for this tragedy. Let's be real. Texas has a history of neglecting black-brown neighbors when it comes to flooding control, housing, and disaster relief. So when these communities are hit the hardest, it's not coincidence, it's policy.
Charlie Kirk said that the death toll from the catastrophic Texas floods was the result of DEI. According to the undergreed Charlie Kirk, people died in Texas not because of historic rainfall, crumbling infrastructure, or a failed government response, but because of black people. Sir, you dropped out of community. You dropped out of community college. You literally went through all of the people that served in the response to what happened with the Guadalupe River, and you identified the one black leader there and said that he was the reason that people died. Let's stop pretending that this is about policy. This is about projection. Gums and Teeth is part of a movement that can accept that black and brown people deserve to lead, to manage, to govern, because when we do, we expose just how shallow, scared, and unserious these types of ignorant, racist grievances really are. The Texas flooding is a tragedy. It is one of the greatest tragedies that we have seen in 2025. People lost homes, family lost loved ones, and instead of offering empathy or solutions, Gums and Teeth is blaming inclusion. Baby, the only thing that DEI is drowning out is this man's credibility. And let's be honest, it was already underwater. It was already underwater, bish.
The 24 deaths in Texas with the flooding victims, and now it looks like possibly 20 innocent young girls having fun at a camp. Those deaths were directly caused by Donald Trump, Project 2025, and Greg Abbott. All of those cuts to the National Weather Service, to NOAA, by DOGE, supported by Governor Abbott and Trump and MAGA Republicans, directly caused those deaths. And if you are a Republican voter who voted for Governor Abbott and voted for Trump and supported DOGE, this is on you. It's not anyone else's fault that you don't believe in science, you refuse to access unbiased information from very credible people. It's on you that you're part of a cult that can only see in a very dystopian, certain, hateful way. These deaths are on all of you. And when Governor Abbott is up for re-election next year, we still better be talking about this and so many other things. Because let me tell you, Governor Abbott now sits on a FEMA council with Christine Noem to make even more cuts. You voted for this, and these people have lost their lives. And let me tell you something else. When you see your king, Trump, your orange guy, expressing sympathy about these deaths, see if just for once you can look into his eyes, you can hear the tone of his voice, you can look at his energy and his whole disposition, and notice he's not fucking worried or caring or upset about it at all. It's just words coming from a narcissist to gain points from you from you.
Well over 100 people that have died in Texas Hill Country. What you are not being told by the media anywhere is that the death toll likely would not have been as high if it wasn't for DEI.
Of course, Charlie Kirk is trying to blame the Texas floods on DEI. They were always going to find a way to blame DEI. But I actually looked into this a bit, and it might not surprise you that it doesn't really seem to have much weight to it. Kind of seems like they're just blaming the nearest black person they can. So the claim that the right wing is now running with comes from a Facebook post by a firefighters union claiming that this guy, Joel Baker, who is the fire chief in Austin, Texas, which in case you're not aware is nearly 3 hours away from where the floods happened. Basically, this guy's claim is that Joel Baker could have already had people deployed there on July 2nd, and he didn't do it because apparently he doesn't understand how reimbursements with the state work, which doesn't really make sense because even according to the guy making the accusation, they didn't get an official request on July 2nd for assistance. They got an unofficial request in a group me chat, which still doesn't even seem like that's been corroborated. And one of the things that made this storm so bad is that it was way worse than people expected. And that was kind of the response of the Austin Fire Department. They're like, basically, you know, we sent out people once we got an official request, but we also had to keep some of our own people 3 hours away because of the unpredictability of the storm. And now, obviously, once things got really bad, Austin did send more people. But from all the sources I've read, this idea that Austin would send all these people 3 hours away, 2 days ahead of the storm, just doesn't really seem to hold much weight. And even Chief Kidd, who is the chief of the Texas Division of Emergency Management, called Austin's response above and beyond. And look, it's very possible that this guy did mess up. I don't think it's anywhere near what they're trying to claim, but I'm not 100% versed in Austin Fire Department politics, so who knows. But one thing I'm definitely sure of is that DEI had nothing to do with the tragedy in Texas.
Who the fuck keeps giving Charlie Kirk a microphone talking about the Texas floods are a result of DEI? Next, y'all gonna tell me that the dinosaurs got wiped out by DEI. The reason that the Titanic sunk was DEI. The reason that all of those different accidents happened to people in the Final Destination movies is DEI. The reason that the World Trade Center towers are no longer here is because of DEI. The reason that half your wives divorce you and end up with black guys is DEI. Actually, that's not true. You'd be the DEI hire in that case. The reason a lot of you have two parents, but you still end up being pieces of shit is DEI. The reason that Charlie Kirk's gums are as big as football fields is DEI. Actually, no, that would probably mean his parents were actually closely related. Never mind. Yeah, his take is as dumb as that one time when they were going and saying, oh, they're controlling the weather last year. Let me get this straight. First, y'all say that we're basically Storm from X-Men. Then you say we don't know how to use our powers. Huh? And somehow in the midst of all of that, your racist asses somehow want to claim you're superior. Despite the fact that you're giving us basically superhuman traits. Or godlike traits. Funny that. In a lot of incarnations where they show God as a character on TV shows and movies, he's played by a black dude. Bedazzled, played by a black dude. Lucifer, played by a black dude. Bruce Almighty, played by a black dude. Ivory America, is there something you want to tell us?
Pete. Change the channel. Bro. Crazy.
Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Should Texas lawmakers be held accountable for ignoring flood warnings? Drop a like if you want more deep dives like this, and subscribe for balanced truth. This is Mercy from Mercy Oba. See you next.